everyone, it's Bianca from Lotus Series Designs. Today I'm going to talk to you about how I not only applied but altered these WoodUBend moldings and applied them to this French Provincial Dresser. WoodUBend moldings are flexible wood appliques that you can not only bend to your will, but also alter them, cut them, reform them according to whatever it is that you're doing and the look that you desire. The magic of the WoodUBend flexibility is in warming them up. So in this shot, I have them prepared on a griddle. You can also use a hairdryer or a heat gun. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using Titebond wood glue. You can really use any wood glue so long as it is wood glue. This is very important. So once your applique is warmed up, you want to go ahead and put some glue on the back of it and apply it to your surface. In this case, the front of the dresser is curved, as is actually the rest of it. And I knew that I wanted this applique to wrap around the curvature where it is bowed in the front. So as you can see, I am just pressing it down. I'm going to hold it for a time, long enough for the wood glue to set, enough to where I don't have to hold it in place. The nice thing about using wood glue is that it does set pretty quickly. So overall, I would say you have to hold your applique down for maybe a minute before it is ready to be released and freestanding. One thing you'll notice is that I keep having to adjust, and that's okay, that's to be expected because it does take a little bit of work to get your applique to form to your substrate. I take my time, and I take as much time as I need in order to get it laid the way that I want it. The other thing that you will notice is that I am using a shop rag, which is wet just with water, to wipe up the excess glue that seeps out the sides as I press down on my applique. So let's take a look. Looks pretty good, right? So wood glue takes maybe 30 minutes if you're using a good wood glue to adhere to where it is able to be painted. I would wait a good 30 minutes before moving on to your next step. Next, I decided to alter this WoodUBend using an X-Acto knife. Please note, my applique was warm. It had been sitting on the griddle before I attempted to do this. Keeping it warm will make it cut much, much easier. It is worth taking the time to do so. Using 220 grit sandpaper, I just sanded down the rough edges where I made my cut. One of the great things about WoodUBend is that they sand so easily, so I'm just going to keep working at this until it is the shape that I desire. Very easy. I should also note that they were not warm when I sanded them. So, same process as the medallion applique we worked on earlier. I'm just going to put a little bit of wood glue onto the back of my applique, and I'm going to press it down along the surface I am trying to form it to. Note, my applique was warm and sitting on the griddle before I did this. Here you will see that I am using a heat gun. My reason for this is because as I was trying to mold it to the side of the dresser, it did start to cool down. Yes, you can warm your WoodUBend moldings over and over as much as it takes until you get the shape that your heart desires. So let's take a look. I have a beautiful scroll applique along the side panel of my dresser. Notice how it wraps around the curve. Gorgeous, right? I also have my medallion on the front as well as a keyhole applique I went back in and decided to add later. At this point, my piece is ready to paint. Here's the dresser with a couple of coats of white Boss, which is Dixie Belle's Problem Solver primer, over it. I'm showing you this because doesn't it look beautiful just in white? And of course I had to show you my finished product. I chose a smoky blend for this dresser. Aren't those WoodUBend appliques just delicious on the front and on the sides? The WoodUBend appliques really added the fancy touch that I was going for on this otherwise masculine dresser. And that's it. I hope you learned something here today. If you want to give WoodUBend or other Dixie Belle products a try, go ahead and place your order using the link in my description. And I thank you for watching. I will see you next time.